Welcome all. In this lecture, we are discussing the topic circle diagram of induction motor. So, circle diagram is a graphical method used to predict the performance of induction motor. And we can first discuss the concept of circle diagram. So, consider a simple RL circuit where R is variable and the voltage applied is V and the current is I. So, since R is variable, I is depending upon mainly R. Initially, suppose R is 0. So, the only impedance is X. So, the magnitude of I is V by X. And it is a simple L circuit since R is 0. So, the phasor diagram will be, the voltage will be like this and current will be lagging by 90 degree. Since R is 0, the magnitude will be equal to V by X. And suppose we are now increasing the R. When R is increased, the current will be V by root of R square plus X square. So, the magnitude of current will be decreasing when R is increasing. And the phi, there will be a phi also, tan inverse X by R, since it is RL circuit. Okay. So, the phasor will become like this. Okay. I is now shifted towards V by an angle phi. Okay, this is the angle phi and the length is reduced, I. Okay. And if you are keeping on increasing R, this length will be decreasing. The length of I will be decreasing and phi is reducing. Okay. So, if you are noting here, now previously the current was here, the tip of current was here. By increasing R, this tip is moving like this. Means the locus of the tip will follow a circle like this. Okay. So, we can draw a circle which will be the locus of the tip of I when R is increased. Okay. So, this is the concept of circle diagram. Means if you are varying the R, the locus of the tip of I will follow a circle where OA is the diameter of the circle. And now we can come to the case of induction motor. So, if you are looking here, the voltage across this point, so this point will be here, across this will be V, and if you are considering this part, it is simply RL circuit, RT plus RL dash, and the X is constant, only R is varying, only RL dash is varying according to the load. Okay. So, we can here apply the circle diagram principle. Okay. Means by considering this part here where R is varying, and if you are looking here, this I1 is actually the phasor sum of I0 and I2 dash. So, this is the phasor sum, I0 plus I2 dash will give the I1, and we can apply the circle diagram here for I2 dash. So, we can draw the circle diagram for the as the locus of I2 dash. Okay. And we can now apply this circle diagram for induction motor, since it is similar to a series circuit, series RL circuit with varying R. And there are some requirements in order to construct the circle diagram. First one is we have to conduct the no load test to find no load current I0 and no load power input taken W0. And next is block rotor test in order to find ISC and voltage corresponding to the short circuit current VSC and the power input taken WSC. We can also find RT, that is the total resistance. And if you are finding R1, stator resistance, by some saturation measurement method, we can find R1 and R2 dash. R2 dash will be equal to RT minus R1. Okay. So, we will be getting this much parameters from no load test, block rotors, and stator resistance measurement method in order to draw the circle diagram. So, it should be noted that this I0, ISC, and VSC are phase values. Okay, we are using phase values in order to draw the circle diagram. And we can analyze the steps for drawing the circle diagram. First step is we have to select a suitable current scale. In order to scale down the graph, we have to select a suitable current scale, such as 1 centimeter equal to say 5 ampere, 8 ampere, like that. Okay. Then, if you are choosing the current scale, we can directly obtain the power scale as 3V into current scale, where V is the rated phase voltage of the motor. And next step is we have to draw the y axis to represent the phase voltage. So we don't want to bother about the scale since we are only representing the voltage by y-axis. And next is we have to draw the x-axis, and next step is we have to draw the no load current I0. So OO dash represent the no load current. OO dash represent the no load current. So the length of OO dash can be obtained by I0 by current scale, and the angle, this angle can be obtained by cos phi 0 equal to W0 by 3V I0. Then cos inverse W0 by 3V I0 will get the phi 0. So this W0 I0 can be obtained from no load test. V is the rated voltage. And now we have to draw a parallel line O dash D to x-axis, parallel to x-axis, and line through O dash. And next we have to draw the ISN, the short circuit current corresponding to normal voltage. So from block rotor test we are getting ISC, that is the short circuit current with reduced voltage VSC. We are getting ISC and VSC from the block rotor test, and by this equation we will get ISN. This is the V rated voltage. All are phase values. And the length OA will be equal to ISN by current scale, and the angle phi AC can be calculated from this equation. WSC, VSC, IC can be calculated from block rotor test. And next we can join this line O dash A. This is called output line, and this is actually the A is actually the locus of, is lying on the locus of the circle. So we have to draw a circle passing through O dash and A. So in order to find the center, we have to draw a perpendicular bisector to O dash A. So this is the perpendicular bisector to O dash A, which will meet O dash D at C. Hence C is the center of the circle, and we can draw the circle by taking C as center and O dash C as radius. So we can complete the circle like this. O dash is the radius and C is the center, and it will pass through A. Now we can draw a line perpendicular to x-axis through A like this. So this is perpendicular to x-axis, and it will meet x-axis at G and O dash D at F. And this AG is the total input power. Okay, where FG is constant loss and AF is the total copper loss. Okay, total copper loss. Now we have to mark the AE. So AE means we have to separate the losses. This is the total copper loss. AF is the total copper loss, and EF is the total stator copper loss, and A is the rotor copper loss. So means we can represent AE as rotor copper loss and AF as total copper loss. Then rotor copper loss will be 3I square R2 dash, and total copper loss will be 3I2 square RT. So AE by AF is equal to R2 dash by RT, and we can find AE as R2 dash by RT into AF. So we can measure the length of AF into R2 dash by RT will give this length AE. So we can mark E. Okay. So R2 dash and RT can be obtained from block rotor test. And now we can join this O dash E in order to get the torque line. And next we have to project this power line towards W in order to represent the full load output. AW is the full load output. So length AW can be calculated by rated power divided by power scale. So finding AW, we can project the AG to AW and draw a parallel line through W parallel to O dash A. Okay. Through W line, draw a line parallel to O dash A, which will meet the circle at L. And we can now draw the power line at rated power by drawing a perpendicular to x-axis from L. Okay, like this. So this perpendicular to x-axis from L will meet the x-axis at K, this O dash D at R, this torque line at Q, this output line at P. Okay. So this is the power line, and this represents the constant loss. Constant loss is not varying. This stator copper loss will be varying according to the current. Okay, now it is rated current. This is according corresponding short circuit. Okay, so this is rotor copper loss, stator copper loss, and rotor copper loss is now reduced. Okay, and we can draw the input current line OL. Okay, so OL. So this is the input current line. So this is the construction of circle diagram. Now we can analyze what are the results that can be predicted from the circle diagram. Okay, so first we can obviously say that we can measure the input phase current. This OL is the input phase current. It is representing input phase current. So OL into current scale will give the input current, and input power factor can be obtained. This phase angle I1, phi1 is the phase angle of I1. Okay, so we can measure this phi1, and cos phi1 will give the input power factor, and we can measure the PI, or we can find the PI input power. So we told that this is the power line. This is the LK is the total power input to the motor that we are supplying from the power supply. So LK will give the input power. So LK into power scale will give the power in watts, input power. And we told that out of this total input power, this Kr is the constant loss. Kr is the constant loss, and Rq is the stator copper loss. Qp is the rotor copper loss. Okay. So this Kp is the loss. Out of the input power Lk, Kp is the loss. So the rotor power output rotor power will be Lp. Okay, so we can find the rotor output power, which is the mechanical power. P0 is equal to this Lp into power scale, length of Lp into power scale. So if you are obtaining output power and input power, we can easily find the efficiency by eta is equal to P0 by Pi. Next, we told that we can find this constant loss from the length Kr. So constant loss equal to Kr into power scale, and stator copper loss Rq into power scale, rotor copper loss Qp into power scale. Okay, and if you are looking here, this is constant loss and this is stator copper loss. So the power input to the rotor will be LQ, or the air gap power will be LQ. Okay, input power minus constant loss minus stator copper loss will give the air gap power or power input to rotor. So Pg is equal to Lq into power scale. So we will be obtaining rotor power input. Pg is equal to, or air gap power will be equal to Lq into power scale. Or so if you found the Pg, we can easily find the torque developed by Td equal to Pg by 2 pi ns, where ns is the synchronous speed of the motor. And again we have rotor copper loss and air gap power. So we can find the slip. Slip is equal to S equal to rotor copper loss by air gap power. So if we found S, we can find the rotor speed by S equal to ns minus nr by ns. Okay. So these are the results that can be find from the circle diagram. Okay. So with this, we can wind up this session. Thank you.